What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and welcome to episode 6 of Mining Rig Wars. The winner for episode 5 was Kleiner Miner by Peter. So congratulations, Peter. You will be in the finals 2 weeks from now. So tune back in and make sure you vote on that one at least. I hope that all you winners are still coming back and voting for the next rigs that are going to be featured, of course, because that would be awesome. Also, don't forget to subscribe or hit the subscribe button so you see when Mining Rig Wars goes live, which is Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Without further ado, welcome to episode 6 of Mining Rig Wars. Well, fellas, this week we do have a special one. This is going to be like one of the first mining rigs that has a video as well already posted to YouTube. You've probably seen it before. It's by a YouTuber named Nevermind, and the name of the rig is Wall Mount. So essentially the reason it's named this is because it is on a mount that has some standing feet, but I guess supposedly could mount on a wall. I didn't see that portion yet, but I don't know. Anyways, regardless, the way he has it set up is he has little risers for the graphics cards, and these are GTX 1063 gigabytes that he mounts the PCI risers to and then runs the cables to the back of the mounting wall. So once you move around to the back, you will see all the guts and glory with the motherboard and the CPU, etc. And then if you move up to the top, you'll see the power supplies. The rigs are featuring an Asus Prime Z270 motherboard with G3930 procs. He's got the WD Green SSD with 4 gigabytes of crucial single DDR4 DIMM there, and then per rig 2 EVGA Supernova 650 watts. He's running the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1060 WindForce on one of them, and then on the other rig he is running the Galax GTX 1063 gigabytes. The total hash rate per rig is 192 mega hash a second. Make sure you guys check out the description for the link to his channel and go check him out and tell him Son of a Tech sent you. Moving on to Rig B, we have Medic, and there was no name provided, so we'll just call it Medic. There's a lot going on here. There is 6 systems running here, and just a ton of stuff going on. It's nuts. But there's 4 480s, MSI Gaming. And then on that one, he has a Rosewell 1000 watt power supply with a G4400 and 2 4 gigabyte sticks of HyperX Fury with the EVGA Z170 for the win. On system 2, he has the MSI Gaming 4 gigabyte cards with a 1000 watt Rosewell power supply. Once again, another G4400, which seems to be the trend through most of his rigs, 4 gigabytes of HyperX Fury, and once again the EVGA Z170 for the win. It changes up a little bit with 5 470 MSI Armor 4 gigabytes, and on this one the only thing different is that he's running an MSI Carbon motherboard. Moving on to System 4, he has 3 470s, MSI Armor 4 gigabytes, and 3 EVGA GTX 1070s. And on this one, he's running the MSI Carbon once again. All the rest of the specs remain consistent. On System 5, he's running 6 EVGA GTX 1070s. And he is running actually a different CPU this time, a G3258, and 2 sticks of Team Vulcan memory. And the motherboard looks to be the ASRock Fatality. Finally, on System 6, he has 5 470s from MSI once again, the 4 GB versions, and all the specs remain the same to the first couple systems, and the only caveat to that is he's running another MSI Carbon motherboard. Holy smokes, there's a lot going on here. I didn't get a total hash rate from him, so Medic, if you leave the hash rate in the comments below, I'll pin it so everybody can see it. We are super curious. The only thing the Medic could use, in all honesty, would be a little bit of consolidation, just so you're not using up that extra 100 and something watts, 150 watts per motherboard CPU RAM combo. You could consolidate down with something like the ASRock BTC motherboard or the ASUS motherboard, BTC motherboard, that's supporting up to like 19 GPUs now. So that could be an option, and you already have all the parts. You would just essentially be needing to buy the motherboard and then consolidate down and start dropping your wattage. Moving on to Rig C, we have Bahubali. I think I'm pronouncing that right. By Pramod. I think I'm pronouncing that right as well. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm from Texas, United States, you know, good old Southerner, so give me some credit for lack of education on my part there. But we are looking at 7 Sapphire Nitro Radeon RX 588 GB with 2 Corsair RM1000Xs. He has the ASRock Pro 110 BTC Plus motherboard that we just talked about a second ago, with a dual core processor. He doesn't say which one. I would assume it's the G3930 or the G4400. He's running a 180 GB Intel SSD with 8 GB of Corsair memory, and then a Havel's 240mm AC exhaust with a custom built wooden rig. So he does have an exhaust system coming off of this. You can see on the back there, which is quite clever. I like it. That's a nice big fan too. I wonder if there's any airflow coming into it though. It would be my only question, but since it's open air, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the way the fans work on those particular cards is they disperse the heat within the case, which is an open air case. So all that fan is doing is just consistently sucking the hot air away. I would like to see some more temps. I think there's some on the screenshot of its hash rate, but I can't see them right now. And the total hash rate is 192 mega hash a second. Moving on to Rig D, we have Cipo Rig by owner TJ, and he has a custom built frame once again. It looks like he's just using some 3/4 inch tubes and some connectors to connect up after he did the cutting. It says use 2020 T-slot and nuts from an 8020 to mount the risers. Works perfect, he says. He's running the ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus motherboard, and then he's got the version 007 risers with the SanDisk, a 240 GB SSD, 8 GB of HyperX Fury, a G3930 proc, and then the 1300 watt EVGA power supply, and 7 GB GTX 1070 G1s. The total hash rate here is 220 mega hash a second. Finally, we have Rig E, the Veginator by Rashid, and we have the ASRock BTC Pro 2.0, the Celeron G1840, 4 gigs of RAM, and 4 Vega 64 GPUs. No hash rate listed, but I would like to see this running some Monero. That's what I'd like to see. I know that you can split these up now, and they're looking really, really good on it. So let us know what you're getting there in the comment section below. We'd like to know. Yes, yes. I like the lighting, just all red. So much AMD right there, except for the proc and the motherboard. Womp womp. Suggestion on the Veginator, make sure you upgrade to 8 GB of memory, because you need to do that, essentially. If you don't know why, check out my video up here, and I go into further detail. Don't forget, fellas, to vote for your favorite rig up here in the corner, and we will announce the winner next week on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have one more episode after this before the next series of finals, so make sure you mark your calendars for the finals date and come vote. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next Tuesday.